Let's get scary.
Or not, as the case may be.
Well, I mean, I've
As
seen
it
your
turns
face.
out.
You're always scary to me.
That's really rude. How dare you?
Oh, well,
How very dare you.
that's the end of this 4-year podcast. Goodbye.
Yes. Yes. We were just discussing how we weren't hungover on Sunday morning.
It's true. I wasn't.
Neither was I. Despite the fact that, as we just discussed, that between everybody who stayed over at my flat on Saturday night, we'd bought 3 cases of alcohol.
Yeah. Well, I think
we
we
didn't
had,
have any...
half of the beers left?
I had way over half of my beers left, definitely. I've still got a load of them in the cupboard. Your Hop House Lager that you've left here, they're nearly all gone.
Wow. I thought I was just leaving some for next time. Clearly,
Absolutely not.
there's not going to be a next time.
Definitely not. But you now have, well, technically you have half a suit for the wedding.
Well, I have the half I need. Which is, yeah, it was surprisingly easy to organise until, the rest of us had to work out where we were allowed to stand to stop people asking us, are you in the queue?
How many? Because what was it? It was the 4 of us. So you, me, and my other 2 best men.
No, our other 2 best men. Because it's us who's getting married. Sorry,
Nick's
Lisa.
Nick's girlfriend, Sam's wife, my dad, my brother, Lisa's parents, and grandmother, and I feel like I'm missing someone. Oh no, hang on,
You?
I said her. No, I think I said me. So there was a whole bunch of us, and that was it. Me and Lisa were trying to pay, and you were all sort of stood around the desk, and everyone thought you were in the queue, and it stressed you out.
They didn't stress us out. It was probably just more annoying for them than it was for us. And we had to keep talking to strangers. And I've been taught about stranger danger. And yeah.
You are that stranger danger. You are the dangerous loner.
Well, yeah, I mean, I 7th wheeled it like a boss.
Yeah, it took us over an hour to pay because they kept doing it wrong.
Well, that's because you wanted 7 deals that weren't running anymore.
And then one of them was like, oh, yeah, we haven't got this size, but we'll ring another store. Here you go, this is fine. And then they were like, hey, we need this size. Great, thanks very much. And she said the wrong size. We went, no, and she hung up. So we were like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Can you call them back and fix
And they
it?
couldn't. Well, this is it, we couldn't get hold of them again. By this point, I think you were, halfway through the pint that I sent you off to get?
Yeah, could you just come up to someone and just went, guys, this is probably going to take a while. Do you want to just go, get drinks? It was just like, yeah. And we were walking out should we just... Everyone was like, we're quite hungry. Should we just go get lunch? And we're like, I probably shouldn't just do that.
That'd have been alright.
Yeah, but then we'd have had to sit and watch you eat. And that's disgusting at the best of times.
It's not a participatory sport. That's a solo activity for me, eating.
Yeah, but I mean, if we were all there sitting watching, would have been sick.
And then we got back to my flat and we watched Attack of the Clones, one of the 6 copies I've got.
Yeah, there was a moment you just went, oh, you just go grab Attack of the Clones. I was like, I'm just gonna get all of them. I don't know
Did
which
you not
one
want to watch it then?
I don't know. not really.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You should have said. I don't think anyone wanted to watch it. And then we
I
ended
said
up
at one
watching
point, can we just stop watching at this bit? And everyone was like, yeah. And then we just all just kept watching it until Nick fell asleep.
Well, Nick fell asleep, and I thought you said you felt the heavy eyes going.
Yeah. No, I did.
I still, I can see why it's shit, but I still have a real soft spot for Attack of the Clones.
I think I have a soft spot for the prequels just because I got to see them in the cinema as a kid.
Yeah, we grew up with them.
Which is awesome. New Star Wars films is always good, even if they're bad.
Yeah. But, so, to continue our Star Wars chat, Salem,
It has no one from Star Wars in it.
Are we starting on Salem then?
Yeah, probably should. I mean, chronologically, it happened first.
I'm not sure that American Horror Story actually happened, but sure.
I'm not
Go on
sure
then.
witches are real, so I'm not sure how much of Salem actually happened.
You are a liar. Go on then. What's Salem? Who or what is a Salem?
Well, you see, I thought this was a Sabrina spin-off.
Oh, what you thought it was just about the cat?
Yeah, turns out it's not. And I made a real mistake when I watched this yesterday, because I watched episode 5 of Game of Thrones. Then I watched this shit. And it's probably not bad, but it doesn't really stand up against Game of Thrones.
This is the thing. For all the people whinging I've seen on Twitter today as a result of the episode of Game of Thrones, right? It's still better than 99% of the fucking TV shit that's on these days. Even
I think
if you
you
didn't
have
like,
to-
I mean, I liked it. I liked the episode from last night. I do feel like it's getting a bit rushed, but you know, it's still better than 99% of everything else that's out there. Particularly Jeremy Kyle.
Oh, but someone died for that.
Yeah, but I don't. Right, I mean, maybe we shouldn't stray too far into this, but if you're going to level the accusation of the show is responsible for this man's suicide, should you not do the same for Love Island, where 2 former contestants have done the same?
Yeah, it depends how, I guess, close to the episode being recorded was.
Yeah, I suppose.
I guess, like,
I mean,
if they're doing
it's
it on
just
the island, maybe a first-time director could make a film about it.
Oh God, that would be really sad.
It would be, but
Um,
yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one. I saw that in the news and I was like, I have a job, so I don't watch Jeremy Kyle anymore.
Correct. But this isn't helping us with Salem.
Well, Salem opens with something very Jeremy Kyle-esque, the stocks, which I feel would be a sort of Puritan era version of Jeremy, because there's an audience. He says in front of a live studio audience,
This is not how to behave.
fornicators, and just like I was sort of, because I was talking to people about Game of Thrones while I was watching this. This is maybe why I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. But I looked up and he just branded someone. I was like, ooh, I might like this.
Mm.
And then,
To be fair, it's got a very strong open, and I was like, this could go somewhere, you know?
yeah, that's the thing. I was sort of like, oh, getting branded. And then but it was just because he was kind of like, F for fornicator. I'm like, is he trying to teach the alphabet or punish someone? But yeah, because this all happens before Alden goes away, because there's a time jump about 10 minutes in, because he gets sent off to war, I think.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that actually. So the first scene takes place 1685, and then after the titles it's 1692. So it's been a good few years.
Yeah, it's been several years. 7, I think, is maybe
Yeah.
the accurate number. But yeah, so then it just follows John coming back, and he's just like, I think the first person he meets is like, yeah, what Busma? You've hung some people from the trees. Why? Turns out it's the start of the witch trials.
Yeah, which is like, we sort of glossed over witch trials and witch hunts in history lessons in school, but
I guess that's because it's not really our history
Nice.
so much.
well, no, we did. No,
We did it, but not to
not to-
Salem's extent, I think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty bad. There was a chap called Matthew Hopkins who was known as Witchfinder General, and they even made a film about him with Vincent Price. And he was a bit of a villain. But there is a conspiracy theory because
Was he a witch?
Well, you hit an excellent point there, because what happens is he spends ages torturing people and saying, "Oh, what we'll do is," so they make these witches face impossible tasks. So they put them on scales and say, if you weigh the same as these number of Bibles, then there is balance to your life and you're as pure as the Bible, so you can go for it. Obviously, every time the person who's accused of being a witch was heavier than a bunch of books, so then
I think the thing is, I
burn them and shit.
like hearing all the the stuff that they use as a test. It's like, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie you to a big chair, and we're going to dunk you in this water, and if you drown, you're innocent. It's like,
what? That doesn't work.
It's still dead though. It's
So
like,
Matthew
if
Hopkins,
they can survive
right?
being drowned, they'll just stay under the water
Yeah, that's it. If they float,
and live there forever.
was it? That's it. If they float, they're a witch. If they sink and drown, they're innocent. That was because they tied. And there was another one. They tied their thumbs to your ankles, and then chuck you in a river. And then
right.
if you,
I was just like,
Sorry,
that doesn't really seem like a test.
I realised I jumped straight to the end result without explaining the methodology. But no, but there's this conspiracy theory that because after Matthew Hopkins does all this horrible torture and shit, he disappears. So then there's this conspiracy theory.
No, he's a magician's assistant.
So he disappears, and then shows up in Massachusetts, and then begins the Salem witch trials. Which I think that would be fucking cool. I mean, not cool for the people who are witches, but like it's a cool story.
For the people who are witches. I don't know if witches are real.
No. But
it makes for some pretty interesting situations.
it just shows it's hysteria. It's the result of hysteria. So there's such a moral panic that people decide to irrationally blame. Oh, well, these bad things are happening, so it must be witchcraft, and their reaction is to then hunt, in inverted commas, witches.
Yeah, I imagine at the time it was probably used to just, get rid of rivals. That seems to be it's what I'd use it for. And you'd rather have just be like, witch.
I've just read that actually he died in Essex at his home in Manningtree, so that I might have got that entirely wrong, that he disappeared and then showed up again in Salem.
Maybe it says that he died, but he didn't really die.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to one episode of Last Podcast on the Left, and the one I chose is about witches, and that's where that came from, so perhaps that was incorrect.
Yeah. But back to the thing, it turns out that while in real life maybe witches aren't real, in the TV show
They very much are.
very much real. There's the one whose pet frog lives in someone's throat, which I think is where that saying comes from.
What, from this TV show?
Yeah, it's a very new phrase. I don't know if anyone's heard it yet. It's frog in the throat.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's weird because the guy kind of looks a bit like a frog in a way, but he just has a smaller frog living inside him, and she has a nipple on her leg. I feel like they explained that in the show, but I was not paying enough attention. Maybe.
No.
Is that like the devil's teat?
I imagine, yeah. The trouble is that with anything to do with witchcraft, it just makes you think of the Inside Number 9 episode where they have a witch trial, the trial of Elizabeth Gadge, and it's just funny as fuck.
So it just kind of reminds me of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where she just points at things and they turn into pineapples.
That doesn't really happen in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, as I understand.
No. Well, I mean, I still need to watch the rest of that.
Me too.
Why did I not?
did make a start.
Did we not pair Salem with that? Oh, because when we wrote this last year, it didn't exist. Oh, good.
Yeah, there is that. I'm pretty sure we are doing Chilling Adventures of Sabrina at some point. Might be next year.
I hope so.
Perhaps not then. I can't say. I really thought we were doing it.
Oh, I think we've talked about doing like some remakes or shows that are the same, but it might mean we have to retread some old familiar territory.
What do Sabrina the Teenage Witch again?
Yeah, I know it'd be
When did
such a horrible show. Last year, year before,
When did we do that?
at some point, I'm sure.
I can't see.
Season 2.
Was it series 1? Bloody hell, it was series 1.
What did we do it with? Oh yeah, Saved by the Bell. Oh yeah, that's when I was like, ooh, nostalgia. And then
We have done a lot of these. Oh yeah, and then Salem, and then there's some spells, and there's a demon thing, and then there's people jumping on the ceiling.
Yeah,
Like,
there was one bit that really
cool,
sort of
but
not weirded me out, but I was like, is that a thing? Where like they're using the girl to like figure out who's a witch, and then as her way of identifying someone who's not a witch and then gets crushed, she bites the tip of her finger off.
oh
To
man,
point
that
at
was
him?
freaky. That bit.
Yeah.
I'd completely. Do you know what? It's really funny that I've only just watched it. I'd completely forgotten about that bit where she's being led through the tower of the village and she's crawling and he's sort of got on that weird lead with the cage on her head and she's screaming the entire time. That did get a bit tiresome. I was like, alright, just calm down, Jesus. But yeah, she bites the tip of her finger off and points at Giles, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Fuck,
And then-
I forgot about that. That was wicked.
And then Matey Boy, the super Puritan.
Oops. Cotton.
Yeah. He like he has a brilliant line where he's like, I can still press a confession out of you, and then sort of the camera pans to a big thing of rocks that he's going to force a confession out of him with. But I liked is it Giles? Giles the man?
Giles is the dude who gets crushed by the stones.
Yeah, where he's just like, he almost does that Tyrion-esque thing where he's like, I want to confess, and it's just sort of like, more stones. And then he dies. But it looked like Nick Cotton didn't really, I don't know, it didn't seem, I don't think he thought that Giles was guilty after he'd already killed him.
No.
And then that's sort of where the episode ends with what's her face, the witch, looking on.
Mary.
Ooh, that's not a good name for a witch.
I kind of feel like the performance of the dude who plays Cotton, who I'm sure I can find his name, I thought it was a bit over the top.
But that's
Like,
it. I think
I
think that's right. For me, it would be right to play a character that over the top because they are quite
hysterical. It is absolutely hysterical. So
well. It's a lot of fear mongering and performance more than
Yeah.
I think anything else.
But other than that, like the things I did like about the show, I really like the ritual parts, like where you see the people, because I really like films that, like what you might term folk horror. So like witches and people doing rituals and spells, and it's it's the
More of a
presence
thing than just like
yeah like
magic.
the presence of like an older magic, or there's a fear of the ancient. There's something old, something
borrowed something.
fucking hell, what's the phrase I'm trying to think of? There's something malevolent in the soil, and you see sort of all these rituals. So when you see the people wearing the stag's head, wearing the pig's head and the wolf's head, all dancing around a fire, I really like all that sort of stuff.
Do you know what
so
you
I did
should
really
watch?
enjoy that. Go on.
Constantine.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, we did it in series 1, didn't we? Did
Did we do Constantine?
I'm pretty sure we did it with was it against Lucifer? Was it? Am I imagining that? Was it series 2 maybe? Pretty sure we did Constantine. Yeah, we did against Preacher. That was it. Series 2, episode 1.
You should watch the rest of that because I really like that. And he's back. Like Matt Ryan is back on Legends of Tomorrow now as Constantine.
Yeah,
So they kind of kept his character around, which is cool.
That is cool. Oh, he's a John Constantine showed up in the because I'm a massive Neil Gaiman fan, and I went to Bristol last month and bought the very first issue of Sandman, which is like Neil Gaiman's massively celebrated graphic novel, and his character Sandman goes and visits John Constantine for a large portion of
Yeah, because he's doing a lot of Neil Gaiman's doing a lot of DC stuff, isn't he?
I think he's done.
Oh no, he did Marvel, like Victorian Marvel.
He did the 1603 Marvel run.
I still need to read. Yeah, I think it's 1603. Because I bought that because it was Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, I've had it on my phone. I think I was reading it on.
The thing, I've had it for maybe a year. Haven't opened it. Oh.
It is really good.
Ah, the guy who
do really
plays
enjoy it.
Cotton is in American Horror Story. Plays Jeffrey Dahmer in Horror Story Hotel.
I was gonna say I've not seen. Fuck! So in Hotel they use real life people then, because I'm not sure they've done that in episodes of American Horror Story that I've seen.
I guess maybe they're doing the H.H. Holmes Hotel.
Ah, it could be.
But can you imagine that, but full of serial killers? It's a terrifying enough place where it's just one killer.
Let me show you your room, Mr. Geen and Mr. Bundy.
I hope you don't mind, there's an adjoining door.
Yeah, I mean, Salem's alright. I didn't mind it. It was a bit... I'm probably not going to watch anymore, but it was fine. It was just a bit hysterical for me.
I guess, yeah, if you're really into that sort of like a cult sort of version of like witchcraft and like a period witch piece, which I don't think there are that many of that I've seen. I think if you want something like Penny Dreadful, probably a good shout, or just watch Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful was okay.
Although, because Penny Dreadful does more werewolves and vampires and stuff, not so much witchcraft and wizardry.
Well, I don't know. I just found the pacing a bit slow in Penny Dreadful. I wish I enjoyed it more because, like, you know, the concept of it is it's all your Victorian Gothic fiction characters all coming together. I was like, shit, this is like made for me.
Yeah, it's like Once Upon a Time for monsters.
But yeah, Salem's just fine. I'm probably not going to remember it at the end of the series, though.
Yeah, I mean, my only real issue is that I'm not that interested in that period of American history anyway. If I'm interested in any period of American history,
I mean, I would be, but I think I'd rather know the facts first. Like,
I think I'd enjoy it more if I had already looked at the history of it. Maybe we should have, but we're not responsible podcast hosts.
Nope, absolutely not.
I was trying to use that character as a way to transition us across to American Horror Story.
Yep, let's do that.
But you ignored my segue.
No, I didn't. I recognised what you're going to do and decided to kill it dead.
Wow. Well, just you fucking wait till your wedding, mate. Does anyone have anything, like, any reason that these two... Yeah, this cunt here, right, kills my segways. He should be in prison for murdering segways. And then I'll be escorted quite politely off the premises, I believe. So, American Horror Story.
This, in fact, this very series was... it wasn't the first, it was Breaking Bad, but Lisa and I spent an entire day watching American Horror Story. I bought the DVD and we just sat down on the sofa with a duvet over us in 73 Wilton and we just blitzed through the whole lot. And I know you remember that because, as you told me the other day, you had to keep stepping over us to go out for a fag.
Yeah, because as great friends as you are, you're not wonderfully convenient when you're in the way. You're not overly helpful either.
That doesn't sound like it. I imagine I am
I imagine, if I remember
Extremely
rightly,
helpful.
Lisa was nice about it and kind of just like would scoot her legs out of the way, and you would, I think, just try and be bigger.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like me.
You went a really slow way back. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna go order some pizzas, and then, oh man, when we get to series 2, he's fucked. Like he ain't getting through here. But yeah, so Murder
Horror
House.
Story. Yeah, because that's it. So American Horror Story. I remember because it was. What year were we in Wilton? It was like 2013-14, wasn't it? So I think there'd been 2 series of American Horror Story at that point, and I'd seen a few things online like, oh, this is really cool.
Well, I think it was the first thing to do that sort of. Oh fuck! It had like.
It's like the same cast but different stories. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it has recurring like, cast members. It's not exactly the same.
Yeah. Oh god! It had like, I know the name of the thing that they. Like,
Anthology.
Yeah. Yeah. So they have. So every season the cast either changes or characters change. Or yeah, same cast play different characters.
Yeah.
Because we've done a couple of those in this time of the podcast. But I can't remember what they were called.
Inside Number 9?
Yeah.
It's an anthology. So like the Twilight Zone. It's like each story is like each series is a self-contained story. Although apparently some of them do connect.
Ooh.
Well,
I was thinking more of if they do it from season to season. Because we have done a couple that every season the whole cast changes. I can't remember what it was. I'm looking at the list now, and I can't remember any of these fucking TV shows.
I've no idea what you're talking about. I can't think of any that did that. Black Mirror does it.
Do you know that's because we only watched the first episode?
I mean, that will do it.
I think it was one of the horror-y ones. Not Top of the Lake.
That wasn't really horror, Top of the Lake.
No, it wasn't.
Tales from the
Channel
Crypt.
Zero.
Oh, yeah.
They do it.
Oh my god, how could we forget that? Our top show of series 3.
3. Because I haven't watched any more of it, that's why I forgot about it.
I've watched, I think, pretty much 4 episodes of the first 6. And I do need to finish it, but I'm probably not going to. Which is annoying because I have paid for them all, so I should.
Yeah, I've got them on Blu-ray. I should really watch.
The thing is, the following episodes do not hold up to how good the pilot is.
Ah, don't say that. Now I'm never gonna watch them.
That's the trouble when you have a pilot that good.
Yeah, I'm still just remembering that like drop in, but you were just watching the static, and it's just like that. Mind blown. Just like, oh my, I got goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, oh. Yeah, so American Horror Story.
Yeah, so
I mean, the pilot didn't have that big oomph at the end.
No, the first series is Murder House, which is the one we're going to do. But
I think knowing that going in makes you kind of go, well, I wonder what happens in this house.
Well, I mean, you know from the opening scene that people die. People have been killed in this house.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it could just be the Ginger Vandal cunts. That almost sounds like a name.
Quite a lot of people have been killed or die in this house.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I was thinking when the twins were walking through with their baseball bats is, one, I want to do that so badly. Apart from the getting murdered bit. But their mother only gave one of them bangers. And I think that's how she tells them apart.
Yeah, that must be it.
But he seems to have like an infinite supply of them. Yeah, and then they die after like smashing up the house and like the basement's freaky. Like I would have noped out of that basement so fast.
So there's something in the basement of this house. Cut to a number of years later, 2011, and Vivian discovers her husband Ben in bed with a student of his, which is bad. Obviously, it's not very good.
Yeah. Understandably, yeah.
But sort of making it worse is that she had a miscarriage very, very recently before then. So, and it even comes up when they have that big blowout argument. He says, "Do you know, I could show you the stats of how many people cheat after a couple suffer a miscarriage." And that whole, just skipping forward slightly to that argument.
He doesn't come off well in that, does he?
That's not an argument. She is entirely in the right and he is entirely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you there.
I've got to be honest. Previously having watched this, I did sort of skip through this episode in the interest of getting to doing the recording tonight. I did just skip through just to.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my favourite bits of the entire episode is the realtor describing like the murder suicide that happens, and then the door just going like, "Yeah, right."
We'll have it. Basement. We'll take it.
Like, I was not interested until you mentioned the murder suicides. And then I'd live in a hovel as long as there had been a murder suicide.
What's really cool is actually you get to see that couple, because the show does sort of flashback, and you see the two characters and the breakdown of their relationship. That's one of my favourite parts of the whole series, is watching that episode of It's Just Them. So the Harmons, they buy the house and move in, and they find a gimp suit in the attic, it becomes a key plot point later on in the series.
Well, yeah, I mean, later in this episode,
very much,
lady gets fucked by the gimp suit.
Well, not just the suit. There's someone in the suit.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, so I'm getting the feeling, having not I think I've maybe seen. I feel like I've seen more of it, but I don't know if I've just seen it walking past you watching it. But that I get the feeling that a lot of these people, in and around the house, are already kind of dead.
That's
or
interesting.
There's some sort of magic-y stuff going on, eerie voodoo shit, the maid who can't decide what age she is.
I think she appears young and seductive to Ben, and old and
gross
not that stuff
to anyone who's looking on. It's
but there is that line at the end of the episode where Constance says to Moira,
"Don't make me kill you.
Don't make me kill you again." So.
Yeah.
Oh, but also Constance, she is fucking incredible. What's her name? Jessica Lange? Was it Lange or Lang? Do you think?
Not really sure. Couldn't tell you, mate.
But she's
not here to help.
Fucking brilliant. Throughout the whole show, like me and Leaf were saying consistently, she was one of our favourite characters. Her and Addie were fucking incredible. And just quickly, because Addie is. The character, she's the daughter of Constance, and they're the neighbours who live next door. Addie has Down syndrome, right? I don't know if this is a trait in people with Down syndrome, but Addie appears out of nowhere silently, right? The number of times that me and my parents have had the shit scared out of us by my brother just appearing in a room. I don't know if wait, thankfully he's never said that, but honestly, he can move absolutely silently. I don't understand how he does it. You just turn around and he's just fucking there. And you're like, how did you get there? He's like, I just walked down the stairs. And you're like, anyone else walks down the stairs, you know there's a creak on the second step, and you know that there's a thud when you get up to the top, and how the banister moves and shit.
Yeah, and when you walk up it's like an elephant.
So I found that extremely relatable when Addie just appears. So I was like, yeah, she's not dead. That's just normal, so, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think based on the first, I think my favourite character at the moment is probably Tate.
That's really worrying that your favourite character is the one who fantasises about shooting up his school, and yet I'm not surprised.
Also, it's just because I fucking love Evan Peters, and
Yeah, he's wicked.
Because I think the first thing I saw him in was fucking, what was it? Never Back Down.
Oh, you always go on to me about that film.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, I like it. I don't know if other people do. I don't think it's a very good film, but I love it. And he's in that, and he's not even the main character. And I was just like,
isn't it about dancing or something?
It's about MMA.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What the fuck am I thinking of?
Just Dance.
Oh, that might be it.
Or whatever the films are called.
Oh shit, what's it called?
Dancing's the only way up.
Step
Dancing
Up,
with the
it.
Stars.
Dancing is the only way up.
I don't know that it might be a film. You don't know.
I mean, it definitely isn't.
Might not be a PG film.
So yeah, American Horror Story. The pilot finishes with there's an argument between Ben and Vivian, which is the one I was talking about earlier.
Is that the end? I thought that was sort of towards
getting
the end.
to it. Yeah, it's getting to it. So it ends to them having sex for the first time in a year. Then she's getting ready for bed, and to her knowledge, Ben appears in the gimp suit that they find, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "Oh well, if you want, I can be kinky," and she has sex with Ben, who is in the gimp suit.
I mean, I can read on the wiki that it says she believes it to be Ben, which makes me think that it's definitely fucking not him.
It's
because he's busy trying to
not
burn his
Ben.
hand.
Oh yeah, he keeps trying to burn a house down, doesn't he? That's quite funny.
I like the idea that it's maybe not a person who's the problem. It's just the house. I think we talked about it when we did one of the Coda, when we did Jewel. Jewel's the truck one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I revealed that I love when there's a villain that is just a thing. Because I like the idea that the house is.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Villain than.
There's implication that there is. Well, no, there is definitely something in the house as well. But it is implied that the house attracts sort of all these things. But I mean, as for the guy, the person in the gimp suit, it is revealed who that is, because it's not Ben, but it is definitely like a character who is known. As you get further into the series, it is a character who's known in the show. And
right at the end, she's just like, "I'm pregnant," and he's just like, and as a viewer, you're like, "That's the gimps, isn't it?" It's going to be a little leather-clad baby.
But yeah, what do you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I've seen it before, and I think I've watched it before. Gone, ooh, I'm gonna watch more of that,
and then haven't.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, because you know that there's so many episodes, because there's so many seasons now. Because what are they on now? Like
it's like 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, there must be
9. So 8 is
God
Apocalypse, and now there's one called 1984, and it's been renewed for a 10th series as well.
So that's the thing. Like, it's one of those. There's so much of it, and it's all going to be probably really quite good.
Yeah, but to be fair, some of it's not. I mean, we watched Freak Show, and Freak Show's not great.
Oh, that's interesting. I guess I suppose the good thing with it being sort of not super, like, not a continuous story, is that if you don't like a season, you can just sort of go and skip it.
Yeah. I mean, we have done. Like, we watched 1 and 2. 3 we tried watching, and I think we got a few episodes in and gave up. Freak Show, we got quite a few in, but then gave up again, and then that was it. We just gave up with the whole show.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh yeah, so there's Murder House, Asylum, Coven, Free Show, Hotel, Roanoke, Cult, and that's all that's on Netflix. So that's all I'd ever watch.
What else is there? Because there's a couple more. Hotel, Roanoke, Cult, Apocalypse is the next one.
Oh yeah, because I suppose there's 12 hour long, so each season is about 12 hours. It just seems...
I mean, Apocalypse sounds quite fun, because in the near future, the Antichrist brings about the apocalypse by instigating nuclear warfare.
Oh, he fucking would, wouldn't he? That bloody Antichrist. He's a right fucker. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch more of it, but it's just... And also, I don't think it's a show that I'd want to just binge.
No.
I'd quite like it to sort of be like a,
choose, yeah.
I'll watch it now sort of thing.
They do Halloween specials a lot of the time, and the Halloween specials tend to be pretty good. The Halloween specials of Murder House are really, really good.
Oh, that's cool.
It's,
yeah, I'm just...
Which ones?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm just
Halloween
not sure when I'd
Horror
watch
Potter.
it. That's the real thing. Because I feel like it's something you have to sort of be in the mood for watching something and paying attention. Which I'm not always in that mood.
Fair enough.
That's what Salem's
I mean,
for.
I'm not sure I'm gonna carry on watching it. I mean, I've seen series 1 and 2, and they were decent enough. Series 2 went in a really silly direction right towards the end, though, and I was like, you didn't have to do that. But you know what, it was all right. But I don't think I'll be watching it anymore.
That's the thing. Is it? I'm guessing it's not. They're not really. It's not a horror. Really, it's more of like a thrillery thing.
No, there's definite horror elements to Asylum, or just the whole thing.
I'm thinking more to like Murder House specifically.
Oh no, yeah, there's definitely horror.
Because I have the same problem with most horror TV shows that I don't think, because they have to release that suspense at the end of the episode. Just because you can't hold on to it until the next episode, even on like Netflix.
Yeah.
Which I think is maybe the problem that I have with, because every time we do like a horror show, or a show that's like, ooh, I am a horror show, a little bit of me always goes, I don't think you are, because you either have to release it at the end of the episode or hope that people binge it.
Yeah, no, I do get what you're saying. That's why, yeah, like we said before, haven't we, on the show, that we think, you know, horror is best when it's punchy and short and, you know, a 90-minute film or whatever.
Or I think, because I think one of the better ones that we've watched was it Slasher?
Slasher was alright, yeah, that was good fun. That was last year, because we did a load of horror stuff last year, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, was it Slasher? No, Scream. The TV show Scream.
Oh yeah, no, that was series 2, I think.
But that's
actually.
the thing that I liked about that is that it was self-referential as well. Like it knew what it was.
Series 1. Yeah, I did really like.
Think. I think that's what it was like.
Scream.
That was a long fucking time ago.
Yeah, I did like Scream. Actually, I did continue watching it. I did watch a few more episodes of it, but I didn't get anywhere else with it. But yeah, do you know what the showrunners of American Horror Story also are the showrunners of?
Is it?
I mean, this is podcast gold.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know.
Glee.
Alright, they've taken a massive sidestep there. Is there an episode at some point where they just randomly burst into song for a reason that no one can actually explain?
Not that I've seen.
And then
I've not
all
seen
get murdered. Can you imagine a crossover where the whole cast of Glee just gets murdered?
I mean, that might happen. We don't know. I mean, we are doing Glee in a few weeks, so...
Yeah. It's because I feel like I've slagged it off a lot in my life, and I need to find out if I might accidentally enjoy it.
So yeah, American Horror Story. It's better than Salem.
Yeah. Although, I feel like every so often we should probably reiterate that what we do here at Co-Pilots is not review shit. We just sort of decide if we like it.
Yeah.
Because if you like stuff that we like, You might like future stuff that we like.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, because neither of us are, qualified to review shit.
Hang on.
Your degree means shit, mate.
Yeah, fuck the degree. I write for Pod Bible, I'll have you know.
That's a good shout. Yeah. Fair.
Well, I literally review podcasts.
Fair. So you should know how to make a good one. So why?
Why is this one shit?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I didn't want to say it, but thankfully, you agree.
well, I mean, I'll put it this way: my reviews for Pod Bible pretty good. This show terrible. What's the common denominator?
You.
Fact that you're not in it. The fact that you're in this. Anyway, I'm fucking tired now. Yeah, American Horror Story is good. What are we doing next? Because we've shifted things around because of my incompetence.
Oh, I think that this was joint incompetence. I think on this one.
The next thing
you'll hear is it's just normal schedule. Alien 3.
Hooray for
by
David Fincher.
David Fincher.
Do you think it might be worth watching like Alien and Aliens before watching Alien 3? I've seen Alien and I've seen most of Aliens.
I'm not watching 3 fucking films to do one 30-minute podcast. Or 40 minutes, it could be 40 minutes.
We're at 46 now. I have got all 4 of the Alien films, so I might watch one. Anyway, so yeah, Alien 3.
And then after
That's
that,
the
it's
co-directors.
the next
Co-pilots
co-pilots is The Good Place. Finally, because Netflix
It's great.
Netflix has been recommending that to me for months. The guys that I play D&D with have been recommending them for a year, and Speechless. I don't know.
I don't know what Speechless is, but yeah, Good Place. We did watch the pilot. Me and Lisa watched the first one a little while ago. It is really cool.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I really like the premise of it, and I'm really excited. I want to watch it so bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to it.
It's good because the title has Good Place in it.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Fuck
We're
you.
done. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I was gonna stop recording after you said that I'm the reason that this podcast is shit. But then I realised that we hadn't actually talked about what was coming next.
I mean, you still are the reason.
I mean, that actually really hurts. Why'd you make me so sad?